Die invloed, Pirow Bekker, deel 2. Hulle trek môre, they leave tomorrow. Almal het geweet, dit was om Mila weg te kry van Wenning af. Arme Wenning, het hulle gesig. Hy het nooit 'n kans gehad nie. Everyone knew that it was to get Mila away from Wenning, poor Wenning. They all sighed. He never stood a chance. Die derde aand in die nuwe huis het Wenning ingekom. Daar was 'n diep keep om sy mond. Die atmosfeer in die huis was stram. Uiteindelik het hy by die tafel oorent gekom. Sy asem met die olielamp sy vlam 'n oomblik laat inhou. The third evening in the new house, Wenning came. There was a deep frown around his mouth. The atmosphere in the house was strained. Eventually, he stood up at the table. His breath pulled in the flame and kept it for a moment of the oil lamp. Hilda het iets teen my. Aunt Hilda, you've got something against me. Haar hande het bly roer in die skottel, haar slag wat sy aan die bewerk was. Her hands kept working the liver that she was busy preparing. Sy het gevra of hy nie vir aandete wil bly nie. She asked him whether he wants to stay for dinner. Hilda, ek weet van Hilda in die see. Aunt Hilda, I know about you and the sea. My dogter sal haar nie meer die see afgee nie. My daughter won't have anything to do with the sea. My pa het my die boot beloof. My father promised me the boat. Sien het sy uitgebars. Jy bly van nou af hier weg. See, she shouted. You will stay away from here. Mila het stil eenkant gesit. Sy het niks gesê nie. Mila sat quietly in one corner. She didn't say anything. Die see was goed vir my pa en hy is goed vir my. The sea was good for, looked after my father, and that will be good for me too. Dis was hierdie mense is. Doen net wat die pa doen. This is how these people are. Just do what the father does. Hy het 'n rukkie nagedink. Wat is daar anders? He thought about it a little while. What is there otherwise? Dis altyd net die see. Die see. It's always just the sea. The sea. Hoe kan ek bewys dat die see my goed sal behandel? As daar maar 'n manier was. How can I show that the sea will look after me and treat me well? If only there was a way. Jy wil bewys dat die see jou goedgesind is. You want to show that the sea will look after you and treat you well. Sy het nie opgekyk van haar lewer nie. She did not look up from the liver that she was preparing. Hoekom swem jy nie die invloed deur nie? Why don't you go and swim through the estuary? Hy het reg oppergekom. He stood even straighter. Dit sal ek doen. I'll do that. Sy het opgekyk. Haar hande was stil. She looked up and her hands were quiet. Jy besef dat die rivier afgekom het. Dat die invloed vol haie is. You realize that the river came down and that it is full of sharks. Ek sal hom deurswem en terug ook. Hy het sy klere begin afstroop. Naderhand staan hy net in sy onderklere daar. I will swim through it, and even back. And he started taking off his clothes. After a while, he was just in his underwear. Maar toe vaar iets in hom, en hy stroop die ook af. And then something took hold of him, and he took that off as well. Soos hy in die wêreld gekom het, staan hy daar in die lamplig. As he entered the world, he stood there in the light of the lamp. Sy wou inderdaad onmiddellik haar kind vat en pad gee. Oh, sorry, I'm at the wrong section. Mila het haar gesig weggedraai. Mila turned her face away. Maar die vrou het die uitdaging aanvaar. Sy het haar hand diep in die skottel gesteek, but the woman accepted the challenge. She pushed her hands deep into the dish. When she took out her hands, blood dripped from her fingers. Sy het voor hom gaan staan. She stood in front of him. Toe het sy die bloed oor sy skouers gesmeer, oor sy bors, sy duie. Sy het hom omgedraai en sy rug na haar gehou. Sy het nog bloed geneem en sy blaaie benat. Die waterige bloed het in 'n straaltjie afgeloop tot in sy sy. She stood in front of him and she put the blood all over his shoulders, over his chest and his thighs. And then she turned him around and put it over his back. She took more blood and put more over all his body. The watery blood ran down his side like a little stream. Toe nou het sy gesê, gaan nou, laat ons sien. There you are, she said. Go now, let us see. Hy het net een keer na Mila gekyk. Haar gesig was nog afgewend. He just looked once at Mila. Her face was in disbelief. Hy het uitgehardloop, teen die rivierwal af tot by die water wat donker was met hier en daar 'n skuimstreep van woelinge onder die oppervlak. Skemer het reeds toegesag. He ran out, down the river wall into the water, which was dark, with here and there just a foam stripe of things that were moving under the surface. Dusk had started to set. Die vrou het uitgegaan op die wal en gestaan en kyk hoe hy die water inloop. The woman went and stood at the edge and looked at how he walked into the water, maar spoedig gedwing word om te swem, and he was quickly forced to swim. Plek het hy weggeraak. Dan was sy kop weer sigbaar. Uiteindelik het die dik skemer aan die ander kant hom heeltemal toegevou. Place, he disappeared. Then you would see his head again. Eventually, with the dusk heavily set now, the other side completely enfolded him. Daar klim hy oorkant uit, het Mila geroep, maar sy was nie seker nie. There, he's got out the other side, Mila called, but she wasn't sure. Hulle het gewag, elke moontlike beweging dopgehou. Selfs nadat hulle niks meer kon sien nie, het hulle bly kyk. They waited. They watched every single movement. Even when they could not see anything anymore, they kept on watching. Die jong meisie het eerste teruggedraai. The young girl was the first one to turn back. Ek moes hom nie met die bloed bestryk het nie, het die ouer vrou haar by die huis ingehaal. I shouldn't have put the blood all over him, the older woman said when she reached the house. Dan is hy tog deur. Then he is through. Mila het haar klere begin losmaak. Mila was starting to take off her clothes. Die intieme lamplig het met 'n vreemde lewe haar oë binne gevloei, totdat sy na die skottel reik om haar eie skouers te benat. The intimate light of the lamp brought a strange life to her eyes and flowed in when she reached over to the dish and to wet her own shoulders. Teen die tyd dat sy gereed was die ouer vrou op haar knieë. When she eventually was ready to go, the older woman was on her knees. Daar is diegene wat sê dat sy deurgeswem het tot die ander kant. There are those who say that she swam to the other side. Ander sê dat hy haar op die duskantste wal ingewag het. Others say that he waited for her on the other side. En dan is daar die wat sê dat hy haar in die middel van die stroom ontmoet het. And then there are those that say that they met each other in the middle of the river. Van die stemme van twee kinders wat jy soms in die aand met 'n sterk invloed hoor. Because the two voices of two children that you sometimes hear when there is a strong current sound, klink van ander kant af, diskant, en van diskant, ander kant. Sounds from this side, as if it comes from the far side, and from the far side, from this side.